in a spare armchair in somebody's house. I can, I write on the Madison Avenue bus. I write all over the place. Always have been able to. In the bathtub, I can write anywhere. I write in the library I wrote a lot of library, which was wonderful.
Space.
I love if you need a character, all you have to do is look up. People walk. It's like being an artist sketching at a sidewalk cafe. The people walk on characters. Everybody you need is right there. And, you know, of course, books. This was a book for which I had to read a lot. Every now and then life will intervene, but unless I write every day. And even if I have guests, I will slip away to my little room where I work, and always, yes. I do. I carry a notebook with me wherever I go, because if I don't write it down when I think of it, I'll never think of it again. And most of my notes are, Joan Didion uses the phrase, bits of the mind's string too short to use. And so many of my notes are just bits and bobs, glintings, and they won't really ever turn up in any piece of finished work. I do. A night writer. I do. It depends. If I've had a hard day, I'll quit. I'll knock off. I'll go do something else. But if I'm on a run, if I'm doing well, I'm like a gambler. I don't want to get up from the table. I do. I have written solidly, yes, but I've written solidly in scraps. I mean, not every day do I sit down and write a tremendous block of finished prose, but I'm always fiddling around. And some days when I'm out and about and with my notebook in a pocket, it is only bits and bobs. Avenue bus, I don't mean I'm writing pages of finished prose on the Madison Avenue bus, but things will occur to me and I'll jot them down. And very often they're the germs of things that will become pages of prose. That's writing too. It's not a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice to devote this amount of time to doing what I do, because it's what I think about all the time. I'm obsessed. I mean, you're encountering me when I've just finished a book, not when I'm in the middle of one. Maybe I wouldn't seem quite so balanced if you'd seen me while I was working. It was a point in this book where I realized I had taken a bad turn, and it was just about 8 months to really get to where you need to go. Sometimes you must run through the other options. There was no way that I could have gotten to that point had I not spent those 8 months. They're invisible, they're not in the book, but I needed to spend them in order to be to get to where I was, yeah. Hemingway used the metaphor of, and it's very correct, of you'll only see the tip. Everything else will be cut, but that the real world is there, even though it's not going to be in there verbatim. What you've done, it's not in vain.
Novels. Gnawed down fingernails and shoelaces dragging in the dust. Boris, budding alcoholic, fluent cursor in 4 languages, who snatched food from my plate when he felt like it and nodded off drunk on the floor, face red like he'd been slapped.
When you want people to read your books, what do you want?
Well, first I want them to have fun. Unless it's fun, but what I always want is, it's the one quality I look for in books, and it's very hard to find, but I love that childhood quality of just that gleeful, greedy, the breathless kind of turning of the pages. That's what I want in a book. But I also want something that's well constructed too. Dickens goes so fast, he goes like lightning, but at the same time, any sentence you can. So to me, I want those two qualities, the two qualities of any great art, density and speed.
You bring secrets.
They are. I never thought about that. But I guess all books are about secrets at their heart. Every book has some secret. There's always a secret. Thank you.
To take the reader on always is the journey that I loved most when I was reading as a child. Just this galloping, gleeful, you don't know what's going to happen next.
At age 49, author Donna Tartt is one of the greatest American novelists of the past half-century.
This painting.
Well, look at it.
We brought Tartt to New York City's Frick Collection.
But I mean, it becomes central.
It's the guiding spirit of the book. It's the guiding spirit of the book. And Fabricius himself is a bit of a ghost throughout.
Both Tartt's narrative and purpose.
One of the characters said you can see the doubleness in the painting. What does that mean?
The doubleness means that you can see the painter's truly great art has that doubleness.
What was that like for you?
It was very disorienting because I wasn't expecting it at all. To write something that long in solitude, having You have to understand, when you're a writer, there's no one coming in at the end of the day saying, wow, that's a great passage you just wrote. Boy, that's wonderful. So I didn't really know how people were going to respond to it. And I was
The only disappointment fans had was that
Years invested in 3 novels.
Well, so it's been 30 years. They've been a decade each.
How many books can you write?
I guess not many if I keep going
Well,
at this
5 would be good,
devastatingly
wouldn't it?
slow pace. 5 would be good. I'd be happy with
I mean,
5.
can you become
Smooth
prolific
sailing.
and get faster with effort?
Well, you know, I've tried to write faster, and I don't really enjoy it. I don't enjoy the process of doing that. I've tried to speed up. I thought, well, I'll try to write. It was a mistake. I thought, well, I'll try to write a book in a year, and I just didn't enjoy it at all. It wasn't fun for me, and no fun for the writer, no fun for the reader.
Questions are you grappling with here? What is love? What else?
What is love? What is the good life?
Yeah. What do you mean by that, the good life? And why is that interesting for you?
Well, the idea is that, well, there are many definitions of the good life. Is the good life to be happy oneself? Is it personal happiness? Is it making other people happy at the expense of one's own happiness? What is it for any of us? We all have to work this out on our own. For me, well, I think the 2 great salvations, love and work. Those are.
You got it.
Yeah,
if you can get love and work, life will be very good to you.
If love and work, then everything else
I would
falls
only
into
add health to that. If you have love and work and good health.
I'm such a huge fan.
at barely 5 feet tall, the Mississippi native seems to move through life on her own terms. She is at once delightfully peculiar and mysterious.
Do you like the mystery about you?
What's important for me as a writer really is solitude. It's not so much reclusiveness as just a need to be alone when I work. When I am working, I do need to spend a lot of time alone. A life spent at one's desk is a life alone.
And she wouldn't have it any other way.
Has the writer's life lived up to your hopes, dreams,
To
expectations?
my wildest dreams,
Really?
yes.
More, bigger, larger,
Better,
finer
happier.
than you dreamed?
Yes.
Yeah. And so what does that mean? What is the writer's life that is so satisfying for you?
Well, to be able to daydream all day, to be able to. Writing a book is one level deeper than reading a book. As much fun as it is to read a book, writing a book is one level deeper than that. So it's really fun. It's hard at times, it's hard going, but when it's good and when it's going well, there's nothing like it.